All right, guys, welcome back to another video. We have tons to talk about today, of course, after Gamescom opening night live. Lots of games were shown off. I'm not going to go over the entire show. I thought it was a pretty good show. It was good. I'd maybe give it like a B or something if I had to rate it, maybe like a C+. There was a lot of boring parts to it, but overall, it was a decent show. And we got a lot of information, particularly from Indiana Jones and Starfield, as well as some other games coming over to Xbox that weren't there before. We'll talk about everything going on here, Gamescom plus some other news stories. But before we continue, if you do enjoy daily gaming news and content, hit the subscribe, hit the like button if you like the video, and check out my Spotify. Link is in the description. So obviously the biggest story, if you're on social media, if you're following the Xbox community right now, is Xbox's plan for the release of their games. Indiana Jones was officially confirmed, the release date being December 9th. So it lands at the very end of this year. And that's what I thought that they were going to do, release it in December as the big hitters come out through October and November. And that has a little bit of room to breathe here. And then you get the December 9th release of Indiana Jones. It's going to be releasing on December 9th on the Xbox Series X and S, obviously Game Pass day one, and on PC. But they didn't just stop there. They announced, after they showed the trailer and the Xbox announcements for the release date, they announced that it will be coming to the PlayStation 5 in spring of 2025. So just a few months after that, probably I would say around the April-May timeframe, we will see Indiana Jones on the PlayStation 5. And obviously, every time Xbox announces one of their first-party games going over to PlayStation, this creates a massive discussion amongst the Xbox community. A lot of people looked at this as a slap in the face because it was Xbox's moment, their big first-party game. They showed off a really good trailer. I mean, the game looks phenomenal. It's Machine Games. It's their biggest game ever. I think it is going to be one hell of a game when it does come out. But then they kind of took the wind out of the sails of Xbox fans by announcing it for PlayStation. If you care about the whole console wars thing, if you don't care about that, then it doesn't really matter. You're getting it on Game Pass day one. You're playing it on your Xbox, and everyone gets to enjoy this game. It doesn't take anything away from you as a gamer that other people get to enjoy the experience as well. So there's a huge discussion here. But I think one of the things that people are going over here is, why did they announce it at Gamescom? Why didn't they just announce it for Xbox, get the hype for there, let the game release, and then after it's been out and everyone's talked about how good the game is, I mean, if it does end up being good, then you say that it is coming to the PlayStation 5. And that's kind of a head scratcher. And the only thing I can think of as to why they did it at Gamescom, I can think of probably two reasons here. One, it's a broad audience. There's people who play on every platform. And then the second reason, the bigger reason I would think, is that they're probably looking at the demographics of people who are at Gamescom and they're in Europe, where PlayStation dominates more so than Xbox. And they're probably thinking, a lot of people here are playing on the PlayStation platform, and we want to let them know because they're watching the show live, they're at the show, all of that type of stuff. Maybe that's one of the reasons, or maybe there was some sort of contractual agreement that they had to announce this game for the PlayStation 5 with Disney and all of these things that go on within the background. The interesting thing as well is, during the business update back in February, Phil Spencer did say two of the games that weren't going to PlayStation, at least at that time, to be fair, he didn't say it would never happen, but at least at that time weren't Starfield or Indiana Jones. So now Indiana Jones is off that list, and you have to think that Starfield at some point potentially is going to be making its way over to PS5 as well, especially with all the rumors that did pop up. So you're going to have the outrage, you're going to have the knee-jerk reactions, you're going to have all that right now, people saying they are going to leave Xbox. Not that they're actually going to, or not that it really matters, because they're opening up their ecosystem. They're getting more gamers into the ecosystem, which means they're going to be getting more people paying into the ecosystem, which means as gamers on Xbox, we're going to get more games on Game Pass, and we're going to get more titles and more features and everything. And I think going forward, as I've said multiple times, I feel like I have to say it because there's a lot of people who are probably angry right now. The Xbox ecosystem is going to be phenomenal as it does expand out, when you can access your entire catalog anywhere that you are via the cloud and things like that, things that we have heard that they are working on. But the announcement, the timing, a bit odd for sure, to take the wind out of the sails of the biggest Xbox release between now and the end of the year, aside from Call of Duty, of course, which is always going to be the biggest every single year. So if you take that out of the equation, there'll always be that 2A or 1A release that is huge. So game looks phenomenal, though. I'm going to be jumping into this thing day and date, day one, when it does drop onto Xbox Game Pass. There is also a really cool collector's edition that did get announced. So if you want to splurge, if you're a big Indiana Jones fan, this could be for you. They did announce this. Bethesda does some really cool collector's editions. They did that with this Starfield. I have it with the watch and everything. That was phenomenal. But here is this one. It comes with like a globe and everything. So it comes with a jumbo steelbook display case, the Great Circle globe with hidden storage, which is cool, an Allmaker Relic replica with the game code on it. And I love this. Bethesda did this with Starfield. If we're going to go to an all digital era, I just hope that more gamers or more publishers see this and think that they should copy it. Because if you're going to give digital codes in the box, not give a physical game, give something that is collectible with the code etched on it, which they are doing here with Indiana Jones as well. Awesome to see that. It's going to come with an adventure journal and then also some DLC. So a very cool collector's edition if you're a big fan of the game. And you can see all the other stuff. 3-day early access as well. And then digital art book, things like that. I wish it was a physical art book, but hey, that globe is pretty cool. And then you have as well, if you don't want the collector's edition, but you want something a little bit more premium, there is the digital premium edition or the physical premium edition, where you get the 3 days early access, the story DLC, digital art book, and then some other DLC here like an outfit. And I believe the price of this one here, the premium edition, is $100, and then the collector's edition is going to be $190. So that is Indiana Jones, December 9th. A lot of people are going to be talking about it for many reasons, and one of those reasons is going to be where it's releasing and all that stuff. Now, the other thing that we did get some news for, well, two other things here. Actually, there's a couple of things here, but we'll start off with this. Shattered Space, the DLC for Starfield, is launching September 30th. So at the end of September, just a few weeks away here, about a month away. Very exciting. I mean, if you're a Starfield fan at all, you're going to be looking forward to that. And on top of that announcement, they also gave information about the Starfield update that has actually hit here with lots of things that are going to be coming and available right now if you want to go jump in and play. One of the big things here is the Rev 8, which is the land vehicle that is finally here in the game. We've seen leaks about it, but it is here and it looks really, really cool. The whole trailer basically was around that. So it looks like it'll be a ton of fun to drive around. But there are some other things here that I think a lot of people will be happy about. So, I mean, there's various fixes for the game, but here are some important things if you've been looking for more performance modes and things like that. They're adding in here the 3 performance modes that you can choose from. So you can choose between 30, 40, or 60, or uncapped frame rate on VRR displays. It says if you do not have VRR displays running 120 hertz, you will still be able to choose to select from 30 or 60, and screen tearing may occur at times when selecting 60 on non-VRR displays. They also say here that they are going to prioritize between visual and performance. They say while trying to maintain the frame rate target, if you're choosing a frame rate target of 60 or above, we recommend changing this to performance. So that's going to be in there as well. And VSync, they say you can now toggle between VSync on or off. Choosing off will separate the game frames from the monitor's refresh rate and may result in a screen tearing. So those are some performance mode updates that are coming on top of the Red 8, and then there's a bunch of gameplay things that are coming here as well, just to fix up the game and bring it to a better state than it previously was. It was in good state before, but obviously continuous updates is always something that people do want to see. So Shattered Space, September 30th, updates right now. If you want to go and check out and play with the Rev 8 and drive around different planets, you can go and do that right now in Starfield. All right, and now we have this. We finally have an update here for Towerborne, and this one is head scratching to me. I'm not sure why they did this, maybe other than it's easier just to launch and seem easier to update and everything. But Towerborne is actually coming out this year in early access and then releasing later in 2025 for everywhere, Game Pass and Xbox and everything. So they put out this trailer, and Xbox announces here that they say after a promise of a special surprise during Gamescom opening night live, Microsoft has just confirmed that Towerborne will be available in early access on Steam on September 10th. So just in a couple of weeks, if you do want to go and play the game, early access, the game will be there. And obviously they're getting more feedback, wanting to get it in the best state before it officially launches. And then they say on Xbox in early 2025. And it is a full free-to-play launch that is planned for 2025. And they talk a little bit more here about Towerborne and why early access is important and why it means a better game for everyone. And that's great. I think releasing in early access, that's fine. I get it. Make the game as good as it can be before it does fully launch to everybody out there to play it. What I don't understand is why isn't it in early access on Xbox as well? Why is it only in Steam? And I wonder if there's some technical issues going on or something along those lines. But again, if you're on Xbox, you're on the Xbox consoles, you're probably looking at this and thinking that this was promised here as a day one Xbox Game Pass game for my Xbox console, yet it is launching into Steam before it does launch into Xbox. That one I don't understand, but I am still excited to play this game when it does eventually come out. And I mean, with every other game out there, I'm trying to make an excuse for this, but there's so many games I have to play in September and beyond that. Would I even be jumping into this early access? Am I even going to try it on Steam? I may dabble, but probably not, to be completely honest, with everything else I have to play. But I think it should have launched onto Xbox at the same time as it launched on Steam in the early access program, like we saw with Palworld, where that launched into Xbox early access in game preview or whatever, and that just didn't say numbers. So I'm not sure why they're staggering it here between Steam and the Xbox consoles. And we do here have pretty big announcements. A lot of people are excited about this. I'm not into this game, but I see a lot of excitement around this happening, and it's finally happening. And that is Genshin Impact, coming to Xbox on November 20th. So if you've been waiting to play this game, you can now play it. You can play it on your Series X and S, or you can play it in November on your Series X and S, Xbox Cloud Gaming, and with your Xbox Game Pass Ultimate membership starting November 20th. They say Genshin Impact on Xbox will receive the same gameplay, cross-play, and cross-progression functions that other players experience. And they say wishlist starts today, and Xbox Game Pass members can pre-install today and get in-game rewards with Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. And this is a massive, massive game. People thought it was never going to make its way over, but here it is. And you're going to be able to continue wherever I believe you were previously, where if you're playing it on another platform with that cross progression and everything, you're going to be able to jump in here and continue off on the Xbox platform. So that was a big announcement, a game that wasn't on the platform that is now there. And when we look here at their roadmap, because they did release a new graphic, a new social media graphic to outline the roadmap, because we did know the roadmap, but now it is far clearer than it has ever been for 2024 of what we're getting between now and the end of the year. And it is we look at this, and even if these games aren't for you, just in general, there is so many games here to play. There's so much content. So World of Warcraft, The War Within, releasing August 26th, 2024. Age of Mythology Retold, September 4th, 2024, which I'm going to check that one out. Towerborne on the Steam Early Access, September 10th, 2024. Again, it's just weird because it's first party Xbox, but it is releasing September 10th, which I don't fully understand that, but it is what it is. Era History Untold, September 24th, 2024. So September 20 is a pretty big here, because then you have 6 days after that, you have Shattered Space DLC for Starfield on September 30th. And then just 8 days after that, you have Diablo 4, The Vessel of Hatred. And then at the end of October, you have Call of Duty Black Ops 6 on October 25th. And then you have Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, November 19th. And then it ends off 2024 with the biggest one here, again, besides Call of Duty, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle on December 9th, 2024. And then beyond that, you have February 18th with Avowed, which they moved to February, and they're just being hit again here right away with games like Civilization 7, which got the announcement for February, and Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which is also releasing in February. So it's not going to be that much easier for Avowed here with the amount of games releasing there. But a game I think will still do very well. It does look very good, especially some of the stuff we saw yesterday with the RTX on and off and the NVIDIA DLSS. So I think that's going to be a fun one. And then 2025, you still have South of Midnight to come, Dune the Dark Ages, and Fable. So those three games are huge. if those 4 in 2025 come out, Avowed, South of Midnight, Dark Doom, and Fable, if they all hit in 2025, that is another massive year. It does say and more, so there will be more stuff, but we'll see once we get the official release dates for those other 3 games. So there it is. That is the official roadmap here with dates for 2024. So barring any craziness here, any delays, that is what we can expect here on out from the end of the year. There's just so much to play. There's too much to play, honestly. When you're looking at this graphic, I don't know how anyone jumps into them, because a lot of them are really long games. You spend hours and hours in these games. Like games like Age of Mythology and Our History Untold, like those are games that could take up your entire life if you enjoy those styles of games. So that was pretty much the big Xbox stuff that did occur at the show. There's lots of other stuff, like Borderlands 4 kicked off the show. I mean, it really didn't show us very much. It's just a promise. And it's funny because the movie just completely bombed, and now they're trying to build hype for Borderlands 4. I'll see how that goes. I mean, it's Borderlands. It's a fun game, but not that excited, to be honest. Then we got this one here, which ended off the show, which I'm actually very excited for because I do love this series. And that's Mafia. Mafia The Old Country was announced as the last game at opening night live, and they don't show anything, but we do know that the game now is taking place in the 1900s Sicily. It says, uncover the origins of organized crime and mafia. The Old Country, a gritty mob story set in the brutal underworld of 1900s Sicily. They say, fight to survive in this dangerous and unforgiving era with action brought to life by the authentic realism and rich storytelling that the critically acclaimed Mafia series is known for. And they say that development of Mafia The Old Country has been known for some time, however, never has been announced in any sort of official capacity by Take-Two Interactive and 2K. We don't know when it's going to be releasing, but coming for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. So I can't wait to see more about this game. Hopefully we get to see more sooner rather than later. We also got this announcement, which is coming to Game Pass day one. This was, I believe, on the pre-show of Gamescom Opening Night Live, and this is Sniper Elite Resistance. They did reveal this coming in 2025. If you're a Sniper Elite fan, you're going to be able to jump in and play it. It's a new story. They say that runs parallel with Sniper Elite 5. Harry Hawker, agent of the Special Operations Executive, and it says takes the lead for the first time as he discovers an insidious new Wunderwaffe, something so powerful it guarantees Nazis will win the war. And it talks a little bit more about the game, but it is coming PS5, Xbox Series X and S, PC, PS4, and Xbox One, and will be available day one on Xbox Game Pass. So some more games coming to Game Pass. The service continuously is getting better and better. And finally, we end off with this. As we know, the new Game Pass tier is going to be Game Pass Standard if you don't want Xbox Game Pass Ultimate on your Xbox console. And they are now testing this out with the insiders for $1. So if you're in the Xbox Insider program, you can actually go and subscribe to Xbox Game Pass Standard here for $1. It says Microsoft is starting to test its new Xbox Game Pass Standard tier with Xbox Insiders today. The new Game Pass Standard subscription includes the usual Game Pass library for Xbox, but with online console multiplayer. It doesn't include immediate access to day one game releases, which will be coming at a different time. It will be very interesting to see when a game like Indiana Jones launches into Xbox Game Pass Standard. Are they going to be launching it at the same time it launches for the PlayStation 5? I would hope so. I'm hoping they're not putting it on PS5 first and then putting it into Game Pass Standard, but we'll see. Maybe they want to try to capitalize as much on full price $70 off of PlayStation users for a little bit, and then they put it into Standard. That's obviously yet to be foreseen until the game does come out. It says during the test period, Xbox Insiders will be able to access Game Pass Standard for just $1, and any renewal periods in the preview period will also be $1 per month. So that's pretty cool. It's just going to be $1 as long as it's in preview. And then once the standard tier launches fully, it will be priced at $15 per month, or $14.99 per month. So there it is. And they say Microsoft is also providing some clarity on when day one games and other titles will be available in the standard tier. And they say some games coming to Game Pass Ultimate, day one games or other game entries will not be immediately available with Game Pass Standard and may be added to the library at a future date, can be up to 12 months or more, and will vary by title. I mean, they're obviously keeping this as open as possible. It could be a month after it releases. It could be 11 and a half months after it releases. We just don't know. And they're keeping on that case by case basis, so they don't have to be locked down to anything that they say and have to come out with a new business update and things like that. And they also say here that they've revealed the tiers in July, and that the launch of Xbox Game Pass Standard is coming in the coming months. So it should be coming out sooner rather than later. It's in insider mode now, and then eventually will be rolled out to everybody. But I'm gonna end the video there, guys. If you did enjoy this video, hit that thumbs up. If you're new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.
We'll be right back.